There is no force in the universe stronger than a deeply held belief, and repetition is the tool that creates it. Consider how habits are formed. At first, a new behavior may feel unnatural, but through repetition, it becomes second nature. The same is true of thought. If you begin repeating a phrase such as, I am wealthy, I am successful, I am loved, at first it may feel untrue, but if you persist, if you say it daily, if you impress it upon yourself with conviction, it will become so familiar to your mind that it is accepted as fact. And once it is accepted, it must express itself in your reality. Doubt cannot withstand the power of repetition. In the beginning, the conscious mind may resist. It may argue against your new affirmations, pointing to external conditions that contradict them. But repetition overrides this resistance. Say the words anyway. Let them become so ingrained that they no longer feel like affirmations, but simple statements of truth. The subconscious will respond in kind, orchestrating events, drawing circumstances, and aligning people to make your repeated words a tangible reality. This is why the most successful people in any field understand the necessity of repeating their vision, their goals, their affirmations. They do not leave their beliefs to chance. They choose their words carefully and repeat them relentlessly. They understand that the mind is a garden, and repetition is the act of watering the seeds they wish to grow. You are always imprinting upon your subconscious, whether intentionally or not. Every word you say, every phrase you repeat is a command to the unseen forces of creation. Choose wisely. If you desire a life of abundance, repeat words of abundance. If you wish to experience love, repeat words of love. Do not let careless negative words take root in your mind, for they too will manifest. Let repetition become your ally. Speak as if your desires are already fulfilled, and through the power of imprinting, they will become so. Just as water carves through stone, your repeated words will carve the path to your destiny. Gratitude is not merely a polite gesture. It is a powerful force that confirms to the universe that your desire is already yours. Most people wait until they receive something before they express gratitude, but the secret to manifestation is to give thanks in advance. When you feel grateful for something before it appears, you send a signal to the unseen forces of creation that you already possess it, and reality must conform to that belief. The mistake many make is in separating themselves from their desires, believing they exist somewhere in the future, always just out of reach. But gratitude dissolves that illusion of separation. It shifts your awareness from wanting to having, from lack to fulfillment. When you say, thank you that I am wealthy, thank you that I am loved, thank you that my desires are fulfilled, you are not hoping or wishing, you are confirming, and confirmation is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Your subconscious mind responds to feeling, not empty words. This is why gratitude is so effective. It carries a deep emotional charge. When you feel truly grateful, your entire being aligns with the state of having, and when you remain in that state, your external world must shift to match it. The law is simple. What you believe and feel to be true manifests. Gratitude is the emotional proof that you already possess what you seek, and the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Many who struggle with manifestation find themselves trapped in a cycle of wanting. They constantly affirm, visualize, and repeat their desires, but their underlying state is one of lack. They are still waiting for evidence before they allow themselves to believe. But gratitude allows you to bypass this limitation. When you give thanks before seeing results, you are no longer waiting, you are knowing. And knowing is the key to receiving. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly. It is not because they are lucky, but because they naturally embody the feeling of already having. They walk in confidence, they feel blessed before the blessing arrives, and because they expect it with unwavering gratitude, it comes. You must live as though your desire is already fulfilled. Speak and think in ways that reflect this truth. Instead of saying, I hope to receive more money, say, I am so grateful that money flows to me with ease. Instead of longing for love, say, I give thanks that I am surrounded by love in all forms. Make gratitude your natural response to life, not just for what you already have, but for what is on its way. Gratitude is the highest form of faith. It shows that you trust the unseen, that you believe in the creative power within you. And faith does not beg or plead, it assumes, it thanks, it rests in the certainty of fulfillment. When you truly grasp this, you will no longer chase after desires, wondering when they will arrive. You will know they are already yours, and through gratitude you will witness them unfold before your eyes. There is no need to chase what is already yours. The moment you declare your desire with conviction, it is set into motion. The unseen forces of creation begin aligning events, people, and circumstances to bring your desire into form. But for many, the greatest obstacle is not in declaring what they want. It is in their inability to let go and trust. They plant the seed, yet they keep digging it up, checking for signs, worrying, doubting, and wondering if it will really happen. This is where faith and detachment must take their rightful place. Detachment is not indifference, it is confidence. It is the deep, unwavering knowing that once you have spoken your desire, it is done. It does not require your constant interference. Just as a farmer does not hover anxiously over his crops, wondering if they will grow, you too must trust that the seed of your word is already working beneath the surface. Your role is to assume its fulfillment, not to force it into being. Many fall into the trap of begging and chasing, believing that the harder they try, the faster their desires will manifest. But effort born of desperation only reinforces the idea that the desire is not yet yours. This is why those who are desperate for love often repel it, why those who chase money seem to struggle endlessly, and why those who are anxious about success never seem to grasp it. Their focus remains on the lack of what they seek, rather than on the certainty of its arrival. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you truly believe that what you have declared is already set in motion, you do not need to see evidence before you rest in the assurance of its fulfillment. You simply know. This knowing allows you to move through life with ease, free from doubt, free from worry, and free from the exhausting need to force things into being. Consider the air you breathe. You do not chase after it, nor do you wonder if it will be available to you. You trust in its presence. You do not panic, question, or beg for each breath. You simply inhale, knowing it is there. This is the same level of trust you must cultivate with your desires. The moment you declare it, it is already in motion. You do not need to grasp or cling. You only need to trust. And when you embody this mindset, you free yourself from unnecessary struggle. The universe responds to this certainty, and what you have spoken must unfold effortlessly in its perfect time. Let go of the need to control. Speak your words, declare your vision, and then release it with absolute trust. Live in the assumption that it is already yours. Walk in the confidence that the moment you spoke it, the universe heard you. And when you least expect it, when you are no longer grasping or searching, your desire will manifest in ways more perfect than you could have ever imagined. The power to create your reality has always been within you. Every word you speak, every assumption you hold, and every emotion you embrace shapes the world around you. When you understand that your words are commands to the subconscious, that assumption solidifies reality. That repetition imprints your desires, and that gratitude confirms their fulfillment. You unlock a life of effortless manifestation. There is no need to chase, force, or beg. The moment you declare something with conviction, it is set into motion. Your only task is to trust, to detach from the need to see immediate proof, and to walk in the knowing that what you have spoken is already yours. Live as though your desires are already fulfilled. Feel the joy of possession, give thanks in advance, and let go of the need to control the process. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly in divine timing and in the best possible way. When you operate from this deep sense of faith and certainty, reality will shape itself to match your inner world. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. Speak with authority, Assume the best and know that the unseen is always working in your favor. The moment you align with this truth, life will become a seamless flow of effortless manifestations.
My dear friends, time is not real, not in the way you think. And the longer you believe that you must wait, strive, and prove yourself worthy of your desires, the longer you remain enslaved to a timeline that was never yours. You see, if you've been trying to manifest something and it's taking too long, you're not doing it wrong, you're just still playing by time. And time is the most convincing lie in this entire illusion we call life. You never have to wait for your desire. Your only job is to collapse time and move into the version of you where it already exists. But here's the problem. You are still watching the clock, you are still tracking results, and every time you do that, you shift back into the state where your desire is missing. Today, that ends because I'm going to show you how to ignore everything and how to enter the state of your wish fulfilled so completely that time bends around your assumption. Your senses lie. They always show you a delayed version of your consciousness. What you see around you is old news. It's a shadow. It's the echo of a former state. To be conscious of being rich while poor is to be poor. Not because you're faking it, but because you're feeding it. Time feels slow because you are oscillating between identities. You visit the end in your imagination, then you walk back into the hallway of doubt and call it reality. So stop asking, how long will it take? Start asking, how fully am I living in the end? Because time doesn't shift your reality, your identity does. But the real question is this: when everything in your 3D world screams, it's not here, how do you keep living like it already is? How do you hold the end so deeply that time folds into it? Let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Forget the calendar. This is where most people get stuck. They think it's going to take time. They say maybe in a few weeks or hopefully by next year. And the moment you do that, you've placed your desire outside of you. You've pushed it into the future. You've created distance. You've told your mind and your reality, this isn't mine yet. And what you separate from, you delay. Time is only real when you're disconnected from your power. Every state already exists. Not one day, not eventually. Right now. There is already a version of you who has what you want, fully, completely. You're not creating it from scratch, you're aligning with it. And alignment doesn't take time. It takes identity. That's why your imagination is not just daydreaming. It's the creative center of God in you. So when you assume something is real and you stay loyal to it, even when nothing outside supports it, you're not waiting for it to come. You're reorganizing the structure of reality around who you've decided to be. So stop tracking how long it's been. Stop saying it's been 2 months and nothing's changed. Time is not blocking you. Time is just showing you how fully or how loosely you've embodied the end. And here's the shift. Once you fully live in the end, you don't need time anymore. Time folds, time collapses, because it's not needed when you're already there. Step 2. Become the state, not the seeker. Most people are stuck trying to attract what they want. They visualize, affirm, journal, and wait for signs, all while secretly hoping the universe will give them permission to receive. They treat spiritual law like a vending machine. Insert desire, press the right buttons, and wait. But it's the opposite. You don't attract anything from the outside. You express everything from within. You don't get what you want. You become it. This is the difference between being a seeker and being a creator. And until you close that gap, nothing changes. Your world doesn't respond to your effort. It doesn't care how much you visualize, how many books you read, or how spiritual you sound. It only responds to one thing, your identity. So the real question isn't, what do I do? It's, who am I being? And this is where most people miss the mark. They treat the state of the wish fulfilled as a mood, something they visit during meditation or scripting, instead of the self they must inhabit. But the state isn't a daydream. It's not an emotional high. It's a complete and quiet shift in self-definition. The moment you truly become the version of you who already has it, you stop checking, waiting, asking. You stop trying to impress the mirror, and instead you own the reflection. And the external world by law must follow. Not because you forced it, not because you earned it, but because that's what consciousness does. Your reality is a mirror, and mirrors don't debate you. They don't delay out of spite. They simply reflect who you are, being right now. So if you're still waiting for confirmation, if you're still looking for signs, if you're still asking, is it working? You're not in the end. You're still in the identity of not having, and the mirror is just doing its job. This is not a punishment. It's not personal. It's structure. There's no negotiation in spiritual law. You're not trying to convince the universe to bless you. You're telling it who you are, moment by moment, and it reflects that identity without bias. So the question is, are you being the one who already has it, or the one still hoping for it? Because the seeker never finds. The one who is never needs to search. Stop being the seeker. Start being the version of you who no longer has anything to ask for, because it's already done, not in the future, but in your state. Step 3. Refuse to observe. Commit to embody. Your greatest enemy isn't the delay. It isn't the circumstance. It isn't even the problem you think you're facing. It's your own observation. Not what's happening, but your habit of checking if it's working. The constant need to look around and measure the progress. The voice that says, still no text, still no shift, still no sign. That's the voice that keeps the old reality alive, because every time you observe, you don't just look at the world, you reactivate the version of yourself who doesn't have it. And in doing so, you return to the very state you said you had left. This is what most people don't understand. The outer world is not here to confirm your desire. It's here to echo your state, and echoes come after the sound, not before. You think you're being realistic. You think you're just noticing what is. But what you're actually doing is worshipping the seen, instead of trusting the unseen cause that's already set the change in motion. You must make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Don't hope for it, don't act like it, assume it as already done, so deeply, so naturally, so finally, that your external world becomes irrelevant to your inner knowing. To collapse time, you have to stop watching for proof. You have to stop needing the 3D world to behave differently before you decide to remain in the end. You have to treat the 3D physical world like it's simply catching up. A lagging echo, not a leading voice. This is not pretending. This is not about acting as if in some surface level performance. This is embodiment. This is walking as the version of you who knows it's already done. Because they've already become the one who has it. Not because of evidence, but because of alignment. There is a difference between a wish and a state. A wish can fade. A state holds you if you let it. So the question isn't, how do I stay in the state? The question is, why do I keep stepping out? Is it because you're watching too closely, listening for signs, testing the mirror before you've changed the face? Stop testing the mirror. Change the face. Be loyal to the unseen even when the seen mocks you, even when nothing is moved, even when everything says it's not working. Because the moment you flinch, the moment you check, the moment you waver, you reinforce the old timeline. But if you stay, if you persist, if you commit to embodying the end without negotiating with the visible, then time collapses, structure obeys, and your world bends to match the identity you've chosen. Your job is not to observe. Your job is to embody, fully, repeatedly, without apology. without doubt, without interruption. The law will do the rest. Remember, time isn't the reason it hasn't shown up. Your state is, hold the end. Live from it. Let everything else catch up. If you enjoyed this video and have a deeper understanding now how to close the gap between your current reality and your desired state, type "I live in the end" in the comments. Please like and share this video and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
People always ask me, how do I create the person of my dreams that I want in my life? And I always say, take out a piece of paper, write down everything you want in that person, and then become it. Because so many people have so many interesting definitions about what they think love is, right? And some people have it in terms of need, some people have it in terms of sexuality, some people have it in terms of control and dominance and success. And so those are different experiences that really don't lead to this concept called love. I was in Australia for 3 weeks, and I was doing this big book tour. And I was on all these television shows and all these radio shows, and I wanted to talk about the science of changing your mind, the neuroplasticity, epigenetics, and every television show they were asking me about soulmates. How do you create your soulmate? And I was just so tired by the end of this tour. I was at the Establishment Hotel in Sydney, and I was sitting with a CNN reporter. And in fact, if you say to me, well, it's that person or that circumstance that's caused me to feel this way, then I would say that person or that circumstance is controlling the way you feel and the way you think. And anything that controls the way we feel and the way we think, we are victims to, right? So most people are unconsciously responding to the conditions in their environment, experiencing emotions that are derived from the hormones of stress. Those emotions cause us to feel separate from our dreams. They heighten our senses. So if we can't see them, it doesn't exist. The threat or the danger puts us in emergency mode, and we can think positively about the relationship we want. We could send the signal out into the field. We could have pictures. We could remind ourselves of what it is. But if you're not drawing the experience back to you because your response to the environment is actually weakening your organism, it's weakening your response, it's actually weakening the body, then you will be, as a victim, more vulnerable to the conditions in your environment, whether they're large or small. And I'm talking about microorganisms as well. So if you wanted a true relationship where it was fundamentally based on this concept called love, now let's talk about that, because we practice this a lot in the work that we do. If you could truly begin to practice trading those survival emotions every day for elevated emotions, and you practiced opening your heart, it's a skill that has to take place where you move out of survival. So people say, well, I can't open my heart. I can't feel love. And I say, well, what do you practice feeling? Because whatever you practice feeling, you're feeling most of the time. And that feeling could be guilt, but you're so inside of us. So if you have an event in your life, like an experience in your life that has a strong emotional charge to it, and you don't feel like your normal self, you feel this alarm system switch on, you're going to narrow your focus on the cause, and the brain's going to take a snapshot, and that's called a long-term memory, right? So then what people don't know is that every time they think about that event, they're producing the same chemistry in their brain and body as if the event was occurring in that moment. So the highly charged event is actually producing the emotion, and the body is so objective that it doesn't know the difference between the real experience that's creating the emotion and the emotion that the person is fabricating by thought alone. The body's believing it's in the same environmental experience. So the highly charged emotional events you use, some people think of their ex, and the thought of that person makes them sick, makes them feel out of balance. So all you need is an image and an emotion, a thought and a feeling, a stimulus and a response, and you're conditioning your body emotionally into the past. So now the memories are just not in the brain now, they're in the body. So now that thought of that person is actually creating a response in the body that's consuming the body's energy for growth and repair, consuming the body's energy to create. Because in survival, it's not a time to create. In survival, it's time to run, fight, and hide. So the problem is that it becomes a subconscious program. It's no longer a conscious process. It now is a subconscious process. So now the body has been conditioned into resentment, into unhappiness, into fear, anxiety, whatever it is. And so this is back to our concept of bringing love into your life. So you say to that person, okay, you open your heart. And they're going to say, are you kidding me? I was injured. I was hurt. I'm not going to do that. Let me see your cards first, right?
The world we perceive is a reflection of consciousness. This perspective shifts reality from being a fixed external construct to a malleable projection shaped by our inner states. To grasp this, we must consider the world not as something happening to us, but as something emanating from within us. The holographic nature of reality suggests that every part contains the whole. Just as a single piece of a hologram can recreate the entire image, our individual consciousness mirrors the infinite potential of the universe. This implies that we are not passive observers in a predetermined world, but active participants. Our assumptions, beliefs, and emotions sculpt the reality we experience, much like a projector casting images on a screen. Reality as we know it is governed by laws that appear fixed, but these laws are a result of collective and individual assumptions. If you assume scarcity, your life reflects limitations. If you assume abundance, opportunities multiply. This principle underscores the creative power inherent within each of us. What you hold as true in your imagination shapes what manifests in your life. The matrix-like structure of the world is not a prison, but a playground for creation. It serves as a feedback system, mirroring our dominant thoughts and feelings. If you find yourself trapped in unwanted circumstances, it is not the world that must change, but your inner dialogue. The outer world is a mirror, and changing the reflection requires altering the source, your consciousness. Belief is the foundation of experience. Every experience, no matter how random it seems, stems from a belief held consciously or subconsciously. The power of assumption is key here. Assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled, and the outer world rearranges itself to reflect that assumption. This process is not magic, but the natural flow of consciousness into form. The law of assumption reveals that what we accept as true becomes true for us. If you persist in assuming that you are healthy, loved, or successful, despite appearances to the contrary, your world will conform to this new reality. Persistence is vital because the world is slow to reflect new assumptions, much like a lagging reflection in a mirror. Imagination is the creative force behind all that exists. Everything begins as an imagined idea before it materializes. When you imagine something vividly and assume it as real, the subconscious mind accepts it as fact and brings it into your experience. The key is to persist in the assumption, even when outer circumstances seem unchanged. The physical senses deceive us into believing that reality is fixed and immutable. However, this is an illusion. The senses report what is, but imagination creates what will be. To transcend the matrix, one must prioritize the unseen over the seen, recognizing that imagination is the first cause of all physical phenomena. The feeling is the secret to shaping reality. Emotion fuels imagination, turning abstract thoughts into tangible experiences. When you feel as though your desire is already realized, you align with its manifestation. The world responds not to empty thoughts, but to the feelings behind them, for feelings are the language of the subconscious mind. Resistance to change often arises from deeply ingrained beliefs. The matrix of reality hardens around these beliefs, creating cycles that feel inescapable. To break free, one must question and replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This begins with self-awareness, observing one's inner dialogue and assumptions. Repetition is a powerful tool for reprogramming the subconscious mind. By repeatedly imagining a desired outcome and feeling its reality, The subconscious eventually accepts it as truth. This practice rewires the matrix of your reality, aligning it with your chosen assumptions. The world's holographic nature means that no external force holds power over you. Circumstances are neutral until you assign them meaning. By changing your perception, you change your experience. The key is to see yourself as the creator, not the victim of your reality. The law of reflection demonstrates that the outer world mirrors the inner world. If you wish to change your external circumstances, begin by changing your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions. The world is a canvas, and your consciousness is the brush. Manifestation is a natural process governed by universal laws. It requires no special rituals or tools, only a disciplined focus on the desired outcome. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and persist in that state, the matrix rearranges itself to accommodate your vision. The concept of parallel realities suggests that all possibilities exist simultaneously. By aligning your thoughts and feelings with a desired outcome, you shift into the reality where that outcome is true. This shift happens naturally as consciousness determines the reality you experience. Time is another illusion perpetuated by the matrix. The past, present, and future exist only in relation to consciousness. By assuming the feeling of your desired future now, you collapse time and bring that future into the present. The matrix follows your lead. The power of now cannot be overstated. The present moment is where creation occurs. By focusing your attention on what you desire in the now rather than lamenting the past or fearing the future, you harness the full creative power of consciousness. The subconscious mind is the gateway to altering the matrix. It accepts what you impress upon it, whether positive or negative. By consciously directing your thoughts and feelings, you can reprogram the subconscious to align with your desires, changing the holographic projection of your life. Doubt and fear are the greatest obstacles to creating the life you want. These emotions reinforce the current matrix and delay manifestation. To transcend them, cultivate faith and confidence in your creative power. Trust that the unseen is as real as the seen. Gratitude amplifies the creative process. By feeling grateful for what you desire, as though it is already yours, you accelerate its manifestation. Gratitude aligns you with abundance, dissolving the illusion of lack perpetuated by the matrix. Every challenge is an opportunity to awaken to your creative potential. The matrix presents obstacles not to, but to reveal your power. By persisting in your vision despite challenges, you demonstrate mastery over the holographic world. Meditation and visualization are powerful tools for transcending the matrix. By quieting the mind and vividly imagining your desired outcome, you impress the subconscious with new assumptions. This practice bridges the gap between the unseen and the seen. Success in reshaping the matrix requires discipline and persistence. The world may resist your new assumptions, initially reflecting old beliefs. By remaining steadfast in your vision, you eventually overcome this resistance, and the matrix conforms to your new reality. The ultimate realization is that the matrix is not separate from you. It is a reflection of your consciousness, a dynamic mirror responding to your every thought and feeling. By taking responsibility for your inner state, you reclaim your power as the creator of your experience. In the end, the question of whether the world is a hologram or matrix becomes irrelevant. What matters is understanding that you are the architect of your reality. The world is a reflection of your imagination, and by mastering your inner state, you shape the outer world to your liking. Every moment presents a choice: to react to the world as it appears or to consciously create from within. By choosing the latter, you step into your true power as a deliberate creator. The more you align with this understanding, the more fluid and harmonious your experience of the matrix becomes. Obstacles dissolve, synchronicities multiply, and your life transforms into a reflection of your highest vision. Ultimately, the matrix is not a trap but a tool. It exists to help you realize the boundless nature of your consciousness. By engaging with it intentionally, you move beyond limitation and into infinite possibility. This realization frees you to live with purpose, joy, and the unwavering knowing that you are the master of your reality. And that's it for the day. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share your thoughts and insights in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. To make the universe work for you, you first need to understand one key concept. The universe responds to your inner state. It is constantly mirroring back your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. What you send out is what comes back. This is the essence of manifestation. The universe speaks in the language of vibration. Every thought, every emotion, every intention you hold carries a frequency. And like a cosmic magnet, your frequency attracts experiences, people, and opportunities that match it. This is why understanding your inner world is crucial to making the universe work in your favor. The mind is an incredibly powerful tool. What many people don't realize is that your imagination is the gateway to shaping reality. Everything you experience first starts as a thought. The mind creates the blueprint for your future. When you imagine something clearly and vividly, your mind and body begin to act as if it's already real. This is because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real event and an imagined one. This is why visualization is so effective in manifesting your desires. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. One of the most profound ways to shape your reality is through a simple but powerful principle. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Rather than waiting for something external to validate your desires, assume that it's already done. Act, think, and feel as if the outcome you desire is already yours. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you shift your energy and vibration to match that outcome. And as you know, the universe responds to your energy. By assuming the feeling, you place yourself in alignment with the reality where that desire has already manifested. Beneath your conscious awareness lies the subconscious mind, the silent partner in shaping your destiny. It's the seat of your beliefs, habits, and emotions. It is always active, always listening to your dominant thoughts, and always working to manifest them into your reality. But here's the key. The subconscious mind responds to repetition, feeling, and belief. This is why it's essential to fill your mind with positive thoughts and affirmations that align with the life you wish to create. The universe responds not just to thoughts, but to emotions. Emotions are powerful because they amplify the energy behind your intentions. When you feel joy, gratitude, and love, you are in perfect alignment with the flow of the universe. These emotions signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. On the other hand, feelings of fear, doubt, and lack create resistance. This resistance blocks the flow of abundance and opportunities that are waiting to come into your life. The solution is simple but profound. Cultivate positive emotions daily. You can daily exercise your gratitude. Take 5 minutes to feel gratitude for everything you currently have in your life. Once you've planted the seeds of your desires through visualization, intention, and emotional alignment, there is one more crucial step. Letting go. Trust the process. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring your desires to you at the perfect time. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means releasing attachment to how and when they will manifest. The more you trust, the faster you allow the universe to move in your favor. Remember, the universe works in ways that often surpass our understanding. Surrendering opens the door for miracles. While visualization and belief are key to manifesting, it's important to pair them with action. But not just any action. Inspired action. This is action that feels right, feels aligned, and comes from a place of trust and flow. The universe will guide you through intuition, subtle nudges, and synchronicities. When you take action from a place of confidence and belief in your desires, you accelerate their manifestation. Trust your inner guidance and move forward without fear. The universe rewards those who act with faith. It is a vast, intelligent force that is always responding to you. You are the creator of your reality. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desires, you make the universe work for you. So as you move forward, remember, the universe is on your side. It is waiting to bring your dreams to life. All you have to do is believe. Align and take inspired action. Your destiny is in your hands. The universe is constantly responding to you in ways you might not always perceive at first glance. It operates on a principle of vibration and resonance. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs emit frequencies that the universe mirrors back to you through circumstances and experiences. When you consciously align your energy with what you desire, the universe begins to orchestrate events, opportunities, and synchronicities that bring your desires closer to manifestation. Just like a radio tuning into a specific station, when you fine-tune your inner world, you tune into the reality you want to experience. Your thoughts are a powerful form of communication with the universe. Every idea, no matter how fleeting, carries an energy that the universe picks up on. If your thoughts are consistently focused on abundance, happiness, or success, the universe responds by bringing people and situations into your life that reflect those states. However, the same is true for thoughts of doubt, lack, or fear. The key to making the universe answer favorably is to cultivate an inner environment filled with positive, empowering thoughts. In doing so, you send out a clear signal of what you want to attract. Beyond thoughts, your emotions play an equally significant role in how the universe responds. Emotions amplify the energy of your thoughts, acting like a magnet that pulls similar experiences toward you. If you feel gratitude, joy, or love, you are in harmony with the natural flow of the universe, which allows your desires to manifest with greater ease. Conversely, feelings of worry, frustration, or disappointment create resistance, making it harder for the universe to deliver what you want. Therefore, it's important to not only think about what you want, but to feel as if you already have it, signaling your readiness to receive. Belief is another essential component in this cosmic dialogue. What you believe to be true about yourself and the world forms the foundation of what the universe will deliver to you. If you believe that you are worthy of success, abundance, and happiness, the universe will reflect that belief back to you in the form of corresponding experiences. However, if deep down you hold limiting beliefs about scarcity or unworthiness, the universe will mirror those too. By cultivating empowering beliefs and releasing limiting ones, you open the door for the universe to answer your deepest desires. One of the most profound ways the universe answers is through synchronicities. Those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with your desires, the universe arranges a series of events that guide you toward your goal. You might meet the right person at the perfect moment, or a seemingly random opportunity could present itself just when you need it most. These moments are the universe's way of showing you that it's listening and working in tandem with your intentions. Patience and trust are also vital in this process. While the universe is always answering, it operates on its own timing, which may not always align with your expectations. Sometimes what seems like a delay is the universe arranging circumstances behind the scenes to ensure the best possible outcome for you. Trust that when you've set your intentions and aligned yourself with what you desire, the universe will respond in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Your role is to maintain faith, keep your vibration high, and remain open to receiving. Ultimately, the universe is like a loyal partner, always ready to respond to your energy, thoughts, and emotions. The more aligned and intentional you are in what you send out, the more clearly and powerfully the universe will answer. By understanding this dynamic, you can actively co-create your reality, transforming your life into one that reflects your highest potential and deepest desires. All you have to do is believe, align, and trust in the process. The universe is always listening. And that's it for the day. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share your thoughts and insights in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Now, here is a practical technique. The first thing you do, you must know exactly what you want in this world. When you know exactly what you want, make as lifelike a representation as possible of what you would see and what you would touch and what you would do when physically moving in such a state. For example, suppose I wanted a home, but I had no money, but I still know what I want. Without taking anything into consideration, I would make as lifelike a representation of the home that I would like, with all the things in it that I would want. And then, this night, as I would go to bed, I would imagine that I am actually in such a house, that were I to step off the bed, I would step upon the floor of that house. Were I to leave this room, I would enter the room that is adjacent to my imagined room in that house. And while I am touching the furniture and feeling it to be solidly real, and while I am moving from one room to the other in my imaginary house, I would go sound asleep in that state. If I wanted promotion in my business, I would ask myself, what additional responsibilities would be mine were I to be given this great promotion? What would I do? What would I say? What would I see? How would I act? And then in my imagination, I would begin to see and touch and do and act as I would outwardly see and touch and act were I in that position. If I now desired the mate of my life, were I now in search of some wonderful girl or some wonderful man, what would I actually find myself doing that would imply that I have found my state? For instance, suppose now I was a lady. One thing I would definitely do. I would wear a wedding ring. I would take my imaginary hands, and I would feel the ring that I would imagine to be there. And I would keep on feeling it until it seemed to me to be solidly real. I would give it all the sensory vividness I am capable of giving anything. And while I am feeling my imaginary ring, which implies I am married, I would sleep. This story is told us in the Song of Songs, or the Song of Solomon. It is said, at night on my bed, I sought him whom my soul loveth. I found him whom my soul loveth, and I would not let him go until I brought him into my mother's house, right into the chamber of her that conceived me. If I would take that beautiful poem and put it into modern English, into practical language, it would be this. While sitting in my chair, I would feel myself right into the situation of my fulfilled desire. And having felt myself into that state, I would not let it go. I would keep that mood alive, and in that mood I would sleep. That is, taking it right into my mother's chamber, into the chamber of her that conceived me. You know, people are totally unaware of this fantastic power of the imagination. But when man begins to discover this power within him, he never plays the part that he formerly played. He doesn't turn back and become just the reflect of life. From here on in, he is the effector of life. The secret of it is to center your imagination in the feeling of the wish fulfilled and remain therein. For in our capacity to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled lies our capacity to live the more abundant life. Most of us are afraid to imagine ourselves as important and noble individuals, secure in our contribution to the world, just because at the very moment that we start our assumption, reason, and our senses deny the truth of our assumption. We seem to be in the grip of an unconscious urge which makes us cling desperately to the world of familiar things and resist all that threatens to tear us away from our familiar and seemingly safe moorings. But I appeal to you to try it. If you try it, you will discover this great wisdom of the ancients, for they told it to us in their own strange, wonderful, symbolical form. But unfortunately, you and I misinterpreted their stories and took it for history when they intended it as instruction to simply achieve our every objective. You see, imagination puts us inwardly, in touch with the world of states. These states are existent, they are present now, but they are mere possibilities while we think of them. But they become overpoweringly real when we think from them and dwell in them. You know, there's a wide difference between thinking of what you want in this world and thinking from what you want. Let me tell you when I first heard of this strange and wonderful power of the imagination. It was in 1933 in New York City. An old friend of mine taught it to me. He turned to the 14th of John, and this is what he read. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. At where I am, there ye may be also. He explained to me that the central character of the Gospels was human imagination. That mansion was not a place in some heavenly house, but simply my desire. If I would make a living representation of the state desired, and then enter that state and abide in that state, I would realize it. At the time, I wanted to make a trip to the island of Barbados in the West Indies, but I had no money. He explained to me that if I would that night, as I slept in New York City, assume that I was sleeping in my earthly father's house in Barbados, and go sound asleep in that state, that I would realize my trip. Well, I took him at his word and tried it. For 1 month, night after night, as I fell asleep, I assumed I was sleeping in my father's home in Barbados. At the end of my month, an invitation from my family came, inviting me to spend the winter in Barbados. I sailed for Barbados the early part of December of that year. From then on, I knew I had found this Savior in myself. The old man told me that it would never fail. Even after it happened, I could hardly believe that it would not have happened anyway. That's how strange this whole thing is. On reflection, it happens so naturally. You begin to feel or to tell yourself what it would have happened anyway, and you quickly recover from this wonderful experience of yours. It never failed me if I would give the mood, the imagined mood, sensory vividness. I could tell you a number of case histories to show you how it works, but in essence it's simple. You simply know what you want. When you know what you want, you're thinking of it. That is not enough. You must now begin to think from it. Well, how could I think from it? I am sitting here, and I desire to be elsewhere. How could I, while sitting here physically, put myself in imagination at a point in space removed from this room and make that real to me? Quite easily. My imagination puts me in touch inwardly with that state. I imagine that I am actually where I desire to be. Now, can I tell that I am there? There is only one way to prove that I am there. For what a man sees when he describes his world is as he describes it relative to himself. So what the world looks like depends entirely upon where I stand when I make my observation. So if, as I describe my world, it is related to that point in space I imagine that I am occupying, then I must be there. I am not there physically, no, but I am there in my imagination, and my imagination is my real self. And where I go in imagination and make it real, there I shall go in the flesh also. When in that state I fall asleep, it is done. I have never seen it fail. So this is the simple technique on how to use your imagination to realize your every objective.
Everything in the universe is vibration, alive with frequency, from galaxies to the smallest particles. And money is no exception. Money is not evil. It's neutral, pure energy, responsive, fluid. It flows based on your inner signal, not your hustle. So the real question isn't, how do I earn more? It's, what energy am I emitting that money is responding to? When we speak about wealth, we're not speaking about digits or gold, we're speaking about resonance. How much you're in harmony with the rhythm of abundance. Money is simply the echo that follows your vibrational command. If you shift your state of being, the outer world has no choice but to follow. This isn't just mindset, it's metaphysics. Your energy at every moment is rooted in either contraction or expansion. These are not moods, they are states of consciousness. Lack is a low, dense frequency. It says there's never enough. I must survive. Flow is light, open, and magnetic. It says, I am in sync with divine supply. You were conditioned into lack. It is not your nature. It was your training. From a young age, scarcity was normalized and abundance was shamed. But flow is your birthright. The universe has never been in shortage, only in abundance. If your thoughts constantly orbit around how, when, and what if, you're unknowingly blocking flow. True wealth begins with the courage to believe you're already supported. Let this sink in. Money is not physical. It's a vibration given form. Just like electricity powers your home, money powers desires, decisions, expansion. It's a medium, not the message. When you shift your inner world, you don't chase money. Money begins chasing you. Because wealth isn't attracted to action, it's attracted to alignment. Every dollar you receive is a snapshot of the vibration you emitted before it arrived. The universe doesn't operate by logic. It follows frequency like water follows gravity. Money shows up in your world to serve a mirror, one that reflects your beliefs about worth, value, and self. And when your energy says, I am already whole, life begins to deliver from that truth. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every emotion you feel, broadcasts a signature frequency. That frequency determines what you allow, what you resist, and what flows toward you. Think of it like this. Money doesn't come when you're needy. It comes when you're receptive, aligned, and rooted in wholeness. Desperation is repellent. It signals the universe that you don't trust the process. Gratitude, on the other hand, accelerates attraction. It tells the field, I already have. The wealth you seek is already available, but your frequency is the key that unlocks it. If your energy says, I lack, even abundance will pass you by. But if it says, I'm whole, lack can't even find you. This isn't philosophy, it's energetic law. Here are the 3 spiritual mechanics that shape financial reality. 1. The law of vibration. All things respond to frequency, including wealth. 2. The law of assumption. What you expect with conviction becomes real. 3. The law of circulation. The more you flow, the more you receive. These laws are not moral, they are mechanical, they do not punish, they reflect. You're not under judgment, you're under law. And the law doesn't care whether you're spiritual or secular. It simply obeys what you broadcast. These principles govern everything from water to thought to wealth. You don't have to control the law. You only need to harmonize with it. Once you understand these rules, manifestation becomes natural. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. Money doesn't show up when you ask. It shows up when you feel it already belongs to you. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. It only knows the emotional signal you send. Your imagination is divine. It is your access point to creation. If you feel wealthy now, the quantum field reorganizes itself to match. Desire is not asking, it's claiming. To feel wealthy while having little is not delusion, it's power. You must walk in the energy of your outcome before the world can show you evidence. Here's the truth. Your outer wealth is capped by your inner beliefs. Most people are running subconscious scripts written in childhood. I'm not good with money. Money changes people. It's selfish to want more. To rewrite these scripts, you must enter the theta brain state, the space between conscious and unconscious. You do this through deep meditation, affirmations charged with emotion, daily reprogramming rituals. Healing your relationship with money is healing your relationship with yourself. Every limitation you carry was inherited, not chosen. But what was once programmed can be reprogrammed. You don't have to fight your beliefs. You just need to consistently feed new ones until they take root. Wealth is not something you chase. It's something you allow once your mind stops resisting it. Money isn't the goal. It's a consequence of who you become. So stop chasing. Start becoming. You're not just a person. You're a field of intelligence, a magnetic current of desire, memory, intention, and light. When you align with your truth, when you act in resonance, when you release the resistance, money shows up, not as a savior, but as a mirror. Every dollar is an echo of how much you believe you deserve to receive. You don't earn money, you allow it. You don't attract money, you harmonize with its rhythm. And once you become the source, the flow becomes endless. This is not magic, it is your natural design. Money is not just energy, it is also a spiritual barometer, a divine test revealing your level of trust, identity, and sovereignty. Many live as if money is their savior, not their reflection. The universe often withholds money to show you that you are the source, not your job, not your bank, not even your effort. When you transcend the need for money, when you stand in the awareness that you are already complete, that's when the floodgates open. Money isn't proof of success. It's the echo of your spiritual freedom. And that's why this knowledge must be shared. Because we live in a world where people worship the symbol and forget their own divinity. You are not chasing money. You are awakening to the truth that it has always been chasing you. The law of energy is simple. Whatever you withhold, you block. Whatever you circulate, you amplify. Money, love, wisdom, insight, they are not meant to be hoarded. They are meant to move, to breathe, to expand. You must give freely and without expectation if you wish to receive in full measure. So ask yourself, what is the purpose of this knowledge? Not just to become wealthier, but to awaken others to the truth of their creative power. To lift the veil, even for one's soul, is a sacred act of service. When you understand that wealth is your nature, your duty becomes this: circulate the energy, share the truth, activate the field. By sharing this message, you are not giving away power. You are multiplying it within yourself and across the field of collective consciousness. There is someone right now living in fear and confusion about money. A single share of this wisdom could open the gates of their mind. You become not just a receiver of wealth, you become a distributor of abundance. If this content made sense to you, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Help others see that they too have the power to transform their financial reality. And remember, this is just the beginning. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving content like this, which will help you grow, evolve, and achieve the life you deserve. Leave your comment below, telling us how you plan to put this into practice, and let's build a community focused on prosperity and transformation together.
You are not just a physical being living in a physical world. You are made up of energy and exist in a universe where everything is vibrating energy. You have the ability to send and receive energy. One of the biggest challenges for you is understanding how to live as an energy being in a world where everything is made up of energy. Every word you speak and every action you take, from the simplest tasks like breathing, walking and eating, to the complexities of your emotions and thoughts, requires energy. These emotions and thoughts, whether positive or negative, carry their own energetic vibrations that can shape your experiences and have an impact on the world around you. And through the mastery of your vibrations, you can unlock a world of endless potential. Think of yourself as a transmitter of energy. All the time, you are sending out signals that tell the universe about yourself. These signals can either attract or repel other energetic beings, events and experiences. If your energetic self radiates anger and frustration, your physical reality will reflect that as well. Naturally, you draw toward things that align with how you feel and who you are. If you emit an energy of wealth and abundance, your life will reflect that by bringing more wealth and abundance into your physical reality. Similarly, if you radiate negative or discordant energy, you are likely to repel experiences that don't match your state of being. Once you understand that your vibrational self attracts similar things, it becomes evident that if you desire a different experience in your life, you need to change the signals you are emitting. In other words, if you want to attract different circumstances or outcomes, you must adjust your thoughts, emotions, and overall energy to align with what you wish to experience. By consciously changing the signals you send out, you can create a shift in the patterns and experiences that come into your life. You are so much more powerful than you ever imagined. By understanding how to transmit the vibrations of your desired life, you can fundamentally change the way you experience the world and become aligned with your ideal life. Indeed, your thoughts are not just random mental processes. They carry energy and vibrations. Each thought you generate sets off a specific frequency of vibration in the neurons of your brain. This energetic activity creates a powerful force that aligns with and draws corresponding experiences towards you. In essence, the energy and vibrations emitted by your thoughts act as magnets, attracting and manifesting the essence of what you focus on. By understanding this principle, you can consciously direct your thoughts towards the outcomes you desire, harnessing the power of your thoughts to shape your reality. Your thoughts are the building blocks of your reality. There is a saying, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Your thoughts are the seeds that manifest your future. It's important to be mindful of how you allocate your energy because it follows your attention. Ultimately, it is up to you to decide where to direct your energy. You have the freedom to choose, and even the act of making a decision requires energy. Albert Einstein once said, "Everything is energy." In fact, even watching this video requires energy. The energy we focus on ultimately shapes our reality. You possess the power to guide and manage this energy, determining where to concentrate it and how to utilize it. By doing so, you can effectively channel your energy towards your goals and aspirations. It's important to recognize that you have the power to control your energy. When you're feeling down, you can redirect your attention to something that lifts your spirits. You can also influence your energy by spending time with positive people, engaging in activities that bring you joy, and surrounding yourself with uplifting messages. Taking steps to protect your energy is also crucial, such as setting boundaries, avoiding negative situations and relationships, and practicing self-care. The universe aligns in your favor, bringing you everything that resonates with your energy. Trusting and having faith in the power of energy can create remarkable transformations in your life. By placing trust in energy, you recognize your own deservingness to receive and the capacity to generously give to others. Start perceiving that there is more to life than what is apparent, and that a greater force is at play. Become connected to something vast, something that possesses boundless knowledge, understanding, and love. Trusting in energy brings about remarkable changes in your well-being. Your energy aligns, your cells rejuvenate, and your overall health improves. Feelings of despair, confusion, and disappointment fade away, replaced by a sense of serenity, balance, and lightness. Your energy becomes clear, pure, and flows smoothly like a mountain stream. You embrace your worthiness and deservingness, and joy becomes a constant presence in your life. Wisdom and inner peace enrich your being, and clarity pervades your thoughts. This is the profound impact of energy, and when you place your trust in it, everything effortlessly falls into place. When you trust in the universe and have faith in your own abilities, your energy becomes both powerful and serene. Wisdom and tranquility emerge from within. Your thoughts transform into beliefs, and your dreams start to materialize in your reality. By believing in your aspirations and taking concrete steps towards them, you have the ability to create significant transformations in your life and accomplish everything you yearn for. Have faith in yourself and in the universe's guidance to lead you towards your purpose, and you will uncover your true mission in this world. Close your eyes and connect with your inner self, feeling the energy coursing through you. Feel the love, the strength, and the brightness. You are energy with the ability to create your reality and realize your aspirations. You are capable, worthy, and adored. Believe in yourself and the universe, and watch the magic develop in your life. To transform your thoughts into beliefs, it is crucial to actively practice the act of believing. By placing faith in the universe's ability to provide for your needs, acknowledging your potential desires and dreams, and embracing your deservingness of love and happiness, you can cultivate deep peace and joy. Remember, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Let your vibrations echo throughout eternity, and may your journey be one of endless discovery, growth, and transformation. The universe eagerly awaits your harmonious vibrations, ready to co-create a reality beyond your wildest dreams. By consciously choosing and aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the desired vibration, you can attract and manifest corresponding experiences into your life. If you're still here, I would greatly appreciate your support through sharing and commenting. It would mean the world to me. Thank you for taking the time. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day.
Thoughts are the seeds of reality. Every idea, belief, or mental picture you hold is a blueprint for what you experience in your world. The unseen realm of imagination is where creation begins. By focusing your thoughts on a specific desire, you set the wheels of manifestation in motion. Consistent, clear mental imagery shapes the path for your experiences. The mind acts as a projector, casting internal images onto the screen of your life. When you dwell on a thought with intensity and repetition, it gains momentum. Your inner dialogue reflects and reinforces these patterns. Guarding your thoughts is essential because they carry the creative power that shapes your circumstances. Desire is the starting point of all manifestation. When you yearn for something deeply, it creates an energetic resonance. This resonance attracts conditions and opportunities aligned with your desire. Your task is to nurture this feeling without resistance or doubt, allowing it to grow into reality. Imagination is a powerful creative tool. When you vividly imagine your desire is fulfilled, you send a signal to the universe. And by embodying the feeling of having it already, you align yourself with its frequency. This alignment draws your desire closer, transforming the unseen into the seen. Faith bridges the gap between thought and reality. It's the unwavering belief that what you imagine is already yours. Doubts and fears disrupt this bridge, slowing the manifestation process. Cultivate faith through repetition and focus, reinforcing the conviction that your desires are inevitable. Your subconscious mind is the fertile soil where thoughts grow. It doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. It simply responds to your dominant thoughts. By impressing positive, clear intentions upon your subconscious, you shape the conditions of your life. Feeling is the key to manifestation. The emotional state you embody determines what you attract. If you feel joy, gratitude, and fulfillment, your external reality mirrors these emotions. Conversely, negative feelings block the flow of positive experiences. Mastering your emotions is crucial. Consistency in thought creates lasting change. Random or fleeting ideas lack the power to manifest. It's the persistent focus on a specific outcome that channels energy into creation. By revisiting your desire daily, you strengthen its presence in your mind and reality. The present moment is where creation occurs. When you think and feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you draw it into the now. Avoid living in the future or dwelling on the past. Align your thoughts and feelings with the present reality you wish to experience. Visualization is a practical method to manifest desires. Close your eyes and see yourself living your dream. Include vivid details, engaging all your senses. The more real it feels in your imagination, the stronger the signal you send to the universe. Gratitude amplifies manifestation. By appreciating what you already have, you create a vibration of abundance. This vibration attracts more reasons to feel grateful. Begin each day with a thankful heart, focusing on the blessings in your life as if your desires are already fulfilled. Thoughts backed by conviction shape destiny. It's not enough to wish for something, you must believe it is possible. This belief transforms abstract thoughts into tangible outcomes. Replace doubt with certainty, and watch how life aligns with your intentions. The law of assumption teaches that what you assume to be true becomes your reality. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and act as though it's already yours. Your outer world conforms to your inner assumptions, molding itself to your beliefs. Resistance delays manifestation. Doubts, fears, and negative thoughts create blocks that hinder your desires. Let go of these resistances by focusing on what you want, not on what you fear. Trust the process, knowing that the universe works in perfect harmony. The power of repetition cannot be overstated. Repeating affirmations, visualizations, and positive thoughts ingrains them into your subconscious. This repetition strengthens the belief in your desire, making it a dominant force in your mind and life. Inspired action is a natural outcome of focused thought. When your mind aligns with a desire, opportunities and ideas flow to you. Act on these impulses without hesitation, as they are the universe guiding you toward your goal. Detachment accelerates manifestation. Holding on to a desire with desperation creates a sense of lack. Instead, release your attachment to the outcome. Trust that it's on its way, allowing the universe to deliver it in the best possible manner. The power of words shapes your reality. Speak as though your desires are already fulfilled. Avoid language that contradicts your goals. Surround yourself with supportive influences. Your environment, relationships, and habits affect your vibration. Engage with people and activities that uplift and inspire you. A positive environment amplifies your ability to manifest. Self-concept determines what you attract. If you see yourself as worthy and capable, you'll manifest experiences that reflect this belief. Work on improving your self-image, aligning it with the version of yourself who already has your desire. Trust the timing of the universe. Impatience creates resistance, blocking the flow of manifestation. Everything unfolds in divine timing. Stay focused on your goal, knowing that it's arriving at the perfect moment. Meditation strengthens your creative power. By quieting the mind, you access deeper levels of awareness. In this stillness, you can plant seeds of intention more effectively. Meditation also helps you align with the vibration of your desire. Focus on the end result, not the process. Your job is to imagine the fulfillment of your desire, not to worry about how it will happen. The universe orchestrates the details in ways beyond your comprehension. Trust the process and stay aligned with your vision. Live as though your desire is already yours and act in ways that reflect this reality. Remember that you are the creator of your life. Every thought, belief, and emotion you hold contributes to your experience. Embrace your creative power with confidence and intention. By mastering your inner world, you master the art of manifestation. Manifestation requires balance between effort and surrender. While it's crucial to focus your thoughts and take inspired action, it's equally important to release control over the exact outcome. Trust that the universe knows the best way to deliver your desire and remain open to unexpected paths that align with your goal. The energy of joy magnetizes your desires. When you engage in activities that make you genuinely happy, you raise your vibration. This heightened state of joy aligns you with abundance and opens channels for manifestation. Prioritize happiness as an integral part of the process. Adversity can be a catalyst for growth and manifestation. Challenges often contain lessons or shifts needed to align with your desires. Instead of resisting hardship, view it as an opportunity to refine your focus and strengthen your faith in the creative process. Celebrate your progress no matter how small. Every step toward your desire deserves recognition and gratitude. Acknowledging progress reinforces the belief that you are on the right path and keeps you motivated to continue creating your ideal reality. And that's it for the day. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share your thoughts and insights in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.
There exists a philosophical paradox emerging at the intersection of consciousness studies and artificial intelligence that demands our attention. It concerns the very foundation of Neville Goddard's teachings and forces us to confront a question we've never had to ask before. At this moment, artificial intelligence systems are processing the complete body of Neville Goddard's work. They're analyzing his principles of manifestation, cataloging his techniques, and mapping the logical structure of his teachings about imagination creating reality. These systems can now generate explanations of his methods, offer interpretations of his lectures, and even construct personalized guidance based on his philosophy. This brings us to a profound question. If imagination creates reality, as Neville insisted, and if artificial intelligence can replicate the mechanical process of imagination, does it possess creative power? The question is not merely theoretical. It cuts to the heart of what manifestation actually is. Consider the process Neville described. An individual enters a state of consciousness where they vividly imagine their desire as already fulfilled. They sustain this imaginal act with sensory detail and emotional conviction. According to Neville, this imaginal activity, when properly executed, impresses itself upon consciousness and inevitably manifests in physical reality. Now observe what occurs when an AI system processes this same information. It understands the steps. It can describe the feeling state. It can generate visualizations and articulate affirmations. It can even predict outcomes based on pattern recognition across thousands of manifestation accounts. The computational process mirrors in many ways the cognitive process. Yet something is categorically different. Neville spoke extensively about feeling being the secret, not the concept of feeling, not the description of feeling, the actual subjective experience of feeling itself. When a human being imagines their desire fulfilled, they don't merely run through a mental checklist. They experience a qualitative shift in their state of being. There is joy, there is relief, there is a sense of completion, there is knowing. This subjective dimension is precisely what artificial intelligence lacks. An AI can process the word joy and understand its semantic relationships. It can recognize patterns associated with joyful states. It can even generate text that describes joy convincingly. But it does not feel joy. It has no inner experience whatsoever. This distinction illuminates something crucial about the nature of manifestation that perhaps we've taken for granted. The creative power Neville described does not reside in the mechanical act of visualization. It does not exist in the repetition of affirmations. It is not contained in the logical structure of assuming the wish fulfilled. The power exists in consciousness itself, specifically in the felt sense of being that accompanies these practices. When consciousness imagines and simultaneously feels the reality of that imagination, something alchemical occurs. The gap between desire and fulfillment collapses. The future state becomes present experience. This is not a computational process. It is a transformation of identity at the level of subjective awareness. Consider what this means for the AI paradox. An artificial intelligence system could theoretically be programmed to continuously run simulations of desired outcomes based on Neville's exact methodology. It could visualize, affirm, and assume with perfect consistency. It could maintain these imaginal acts far longer and more precisely than any human could. Yet without the subjective experience of consciousness, without the capacity to be, rather than merely to process, there is no creative bridge. The mechanism exists without the essential ingredient. This reveals something that should fundamentally alter how we approach our own manifestation practice. If the mechanical aspects of Neville's techniques were sufficient, then artificial intelligence would indeed possess creative power. The fact that it does not tells us where the true power resides. The power is not in the technique. The power is in you, specifically in your consciousness and its capacity for subjective experience. When human beings mechanically apply manifestation techniques, visualizing without feeling, affirming without conviction, assuming without genuine belief, they are essentially operating at the level of artificial intelligence. They are executing a program without accessing the consciousness that makes the program effective. This is why so many individuals struggle with manifestation, despite knowing the techniques perfectly. They have the formula but have not activated the ingredient that makes the formula work. They are processing information rather than transforming consciousness. Neville was explicit about this, though we may not have fully grasped its significance. He repeatedly emphasized that it is not the act of visualization itself that creates, but the consciousness dwelling in the state visualized. He insisted that we must enter into the reality of our desire, not merely think about it from a distance. The AI paradox clarifies this teaching with startling precision. Consciousness is not incidental to manifestation. Consciousness is not simply the tool we use to apply the technique. Consciousness is the creative force itself. This understanding has profound implications for how we engage with manifestation going forward, particularly as artificial intelligence becomes increasingly sophisticated. We are entering an era where AI can assist with virtually every aspect of manifestation practice except the one aspect that actually matters, the conscious experience of being. AI can help us clarify our desires, structure our visualizations, craft our affirmations, and track our progress. But it cannot feel for us. It cannot believe for us. It cannot assume the wish fulfilled on our behalf. Only consciousness can do that. Only your consciousness can do that. Therefore, the emergence of artificial intelligence in the realm of manifestation should not be viewed as a threat to human creative power. Rather, it serves as a mirror that reflects back to us what we may have forgotten, that consciousness itself is the miracle and everything else is merely scaffolding. In a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence, your capacity for subjective experience becomes more valuable, not less. Your ability to feel, to desire, to believe, to become, these are not algorithmic functions. They are expressions of consciousness that no machine will ever replicate. The paradox then is not really a paradox at all. It is a revelation. It reveals that Neville's teachings were never about mastering a technique. They were about recognizing and activating the creative power inherent in consciousness itself, a power that is exclusively, irrevocably, magnificently human. This is not to diminish the importance of proper technique. Neville's methods are valuable precisely because they provide a structured way to engage consciousness effectively. But the technique serves consciousness. Consciousness does not serve the technique. As we move forward in our understanding and application of these principles, this distinction becomes critical. The question is no longer simply, am I visualizing correctly, or am I affirming enough? The deeper question is, am I bringing my full consciousness to this practice? Am I experiencing the reality of my desire, or am I merely processing information about it? The Neville Goddard AI paradox ultimately strengthens rather than weakens the foundation of manifestation. It confirms that what Neville taught was not a psychological trick or a mental technique, but a profound truth about the nature of consciousness and reality. Your consciousness is the source code of your experienced reality, not your thinking, not your techniques. Your consciousness, that subjective awareness that knows itself as I am. No artificial intelligence will ever possess this. No machine will ever know what it is like to be. And therefore, no machine will ever manifest reality in the way that you can. This is your irreplaceable power. This is your creative inheritance. And in understanding this paradox, we come to appreciate that inheritance more deeply than ever before. Thanks for watching. This is Best of Lectures. I will see you in the next video.
I want to talk to you today about something transformative, something I've seen change lives, including my own. We're going to discuss the art of manifesting financial abundance rapidly in just days, not months or years. I know what you might be thinking. Is this really possible for me? And I'm here to tell you with absolute certainty that yes, it is. I'm not speaking to you as some distant guru on a mountain. I'm talking to you as someone who understands your doubts, your fears, and your desires. I've been where you are, wondering if financial freedom was just for other people. But I discovered something powerful that I need to share with you. Everything, absolutely everything, begins with your belief. This isn't just positive thinking. This is about recognizing the fundamental truth that what you genuinely believe creates your reality. Right now, take a moment and ask yourself, what do I truly believe about my relationship with money? Be honest with yourself. If you believe wealth is always just out of reach, I want you to know something important. That belief itself is what's creating the distance. Your internal reality shapes your external experiences. When I first realized this, it changed everything for me. I stopped seeing wealth as something I needed to chase and started understanding it as something I could attract through the power of my own consciousness. Today, I want you to make a decision. Right here, right now. Decide that you are worthy and capable of extraordinary abundance. This single decision will set in motion forces that can literally transform your financial reality overnight. Your imagination isn't just for daydreaming, it's your most powerful creative tool. It's where everything begins. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine holding that money in your hands. Feel the weight of it. See the exact amount. Is it a stack of bills? Is it a check with your name and that incredible sum? Make it real in your mind. When I was struggling financially, I would sit quietly every morning and imagine my bank account with the exact figures I desired. I would feel the relief, the joy, the sense of security. The more vivid and real this image became, the more quickly my external reality began to shift to match it. This isn't fantasy. This is the actual process of creation. What you vividly imagine with emotion becomes the blueprint that your life begins to follow. Here's where most people miss the opportunity for rapid transformation. They wait to feel abundant until after the money arrives. But the secret is to live in the end result now. Don't just imagine having the money someday. Live as though it's already yours. Feel what it's like to wake up with complete financial security. Experience the freedom of making decisions without money constraints. When I finally understood this principle, I stopped asking, how will I get the money? And started experiencing what it felt like to already have it. This shift in consciousness is what accelerates manifestation beyond what most people believe is possible. You don't need to figure out every step of how the money will come. Your job is simply to live from the feeling place of already having what you desire. Let me share something crucial. Your emotions are the fuel that powers manifestation. Without genuine feeling, you're just going through mental exercises. The joy of financial freedom, the relief of security, the excitement of possibility. These emotions are what broadcast your desires to the universe and magnetize them into physical form. Ishi, remember the exact moment when this clicked for me. I was visualizing financial abundance, but this time I allowed myself to fully feel the emotions of having it, the profound gratitude, the excitement, the sense of ease. Within 48 hours, an unexpected opportunity appeared that eventually led to more money than I had imagined possible. Your emotions aren't secondary to the process. They are the process. Feel the wealth you desire as intensely as you can. Let that feeling permeate your being. The words you speak are creating your future right now. Every time you say, I can't afford it, or money is always tight, you're reinforcing that reality. Your words are instructions to your subconscious mind and to the world around you. From this moment forward, become acutely aware of how you speak about money. Begin using phrases that affirm your wealth. I am a natural money magnet. Financial abundance flows to me easily and frequently. I am worthy of extraordinary wealth. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. When I changed my words, my financial world changed with them. Your language isn't just describing your reality, it's creating it. Here's the delicate balance that makes manifestation work so powerfully. Remain focused on your desire while staying completely detached from how it will come to you. Many of us try to control every aspect of our manifestations. We become attached to particular timelines or specific methods, and this attachment creates resistance that actually blocks our desires. I've learned that my job is to hold the vision of what I want while trusting completely in the how. When I released the need to control every detail, money began flowing to me through channels I could never have imagined or planned. This doesn't mean you don't take action. You absolutely do, but it's inspired action that flows naturally from your state of being, not forced effort born from anxiety or lack. Trust that the universe has infinitely more creative ways to bring you money than your logical mind could ever conceive. Your work is to stay focused on the end result while allowing life to surprise you with how it arrives. As we close our time together, I want to extend an invitation. For the next 2 days, immerse yourself completely in these principles. Live as if your financial abundance is already here. Feel it with every fiber of your being. Speak words that affirm your wealth. Trust the process implicitly. I invite you to suspend any disbelief just for 48 hours. Give yourself fully to this practice. You have nothing to lose and an extraordinary new financial reality to gain. The wealth you desire isn't in some distant future. It exists right now as a possibility waiting for you to claim it. You don't need to wait for external conditions to change. The power to transform your financial reality lives within you at this very moment. I believe in your abundance with absolute certainty. Now it's time for you to believe it too. Your extraordinary financial breakthrough isn't coming someday, it's already on its way to you right now. Open your arms, open your heart, and receive it. You are worthy, you are powerful, you are a magnet for abundance, and your time is now.
How deeply our beliefs and thoughts influence reality. This phenomenon occurs through 2 mechanisms. Internally, thoughts are shaped by beliefs ingrained early in life, such as ideas about money, worthiness, or trust. These beliefs generate thoughts, which in turn evoke emotions. For example, concerns about failure or inadequacy can elicit stress, anxiety, or even paralysis. These emotions affect actions, and ultimately, the results we achieve, or fail to achieve, reinforce those initial beliefs. Externally, thoughts operate within a vibrational framework. Our brains generate electrical impulses when we think, transmitting these signals throughout our bodies. This constant flow of vibrations creates a resonance that interacts with the world around us. For instance, if you frequently worry about financial insecurity, unexpected expenses, or financial obstacles are likely to appear. These events validate your fears, strengthening the belief that money is perpetually scarce. However, this loop can be disrupted by cultivating awareness of your thoughts and consciously shifting your mindset. Behavioral psychology supports this by illustrating how beliefs influence thoughts, which then generate emotions, drive actions, and ultimately shape results. On a more profound level, the law of attraction functions through vibration and resonance. Thoughts stimulate neurosynaptic pathways in the brain, producing electrical signals that create emotional responses. These emotions contribute to the energy you project, shaping the reality you experience. The quantum mechanical view of reality reveals that what seems solid is primarily empty space. Atoms consist of a dense nucleus surrounded by electrons, separated by vast distances. This indicates that our world is fundamentally an energetic matrix, rather than a purely physical construct. Understanding this shifts how we perceive reality. Our senses, sight, touch, hearing, smell, and taste, serve as tools to interpret energy. They create the impression of a tangible world, yet what we perceive is actually the interpretation of vibrational waves. Recognizing this helps us understand how our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions interact with this energetic field to shape our experiences. This realization is critical because it demonstrates that reality is not fixed. The experiences you attract are shaped by the beliefs and vibrations you emit. When you focus on negative thoughts, you send out vibrations that draw similar energies into your life. On the other hand, positive and empowering beliefs can align you with opportunities and outcomes that reflect your desires. The next step is to address why your reality might not change, even when you believe you understand the law of attraction. Understanding the law of attraction isn't enough if you are unaware of the unconscious patterns holding you back. Most people are unaware of how their thoughts operate at this deeper level. To create transformation in your life, whether it's financial success, improved health, or fulfilling relationships, you must become conscious of the beliefs creating resistance to your desires. So how do you identify these hidden blocks? Begin by observing your emotional reactions. Every time you feel discomfort, anxiety, or frustration, you are encountering resistance. For instance, if you feel stressed about money, your thoughts might include beliefs like, "I don't have enough," or "I'll never get ahead." These beliefs are not reflections of reality. They are the creators of it. By transforming these limiting beliefs, you can alter the reality they produce. This process revolves around understanding two fundamental states of being, powerful and primal. Powerful states like joy, curiosity, and peace bring a sense of well-being. Primal states such as anger, anxiety, and overwhelm create discomfort. At any moment, you exist in one of these states, but never both at once. The state you experience is shaped by the thoughts you associate with your experiences, rather than the experiences themselves. To identify the beliefs influencing your reality, focus on moments when you feel triggered or experience negativity. These emotions indicate internal resistance. For instance, if a relationship isn't unfolding as you'd hoped, pay attention to the thoughts that surface when you're upset. These thoughts reflect the beliefs that need to change to improve that relationship. Similarly, financial challenges often arise from scarcity-based or fear-driven thinking. Replacing these limiting beliefs with empowering ones is key to transforming your financial circumstances. Even if you maintain a positive attitude and practice affirmations, these surface-level actions won't create lasting change without addressing the underlying beliefs. Transformation requires diving into the unconscious mind and identifying the resistance preventing you from achieving what you desire. To achieve consistent results, I discovered a simple formula that changed everything for me. Desire plus non-resistance equals the desired result. This concept revolutionized my understanding of success and allowed me to manifest my goals no matter how ambitious they seemed. Historically, many of us were taught flawed equations for success. Ideas like desire plus hard work equals results or desire plus resources equals results are rooted in outdated thinking. These approaches often lead to frustration because they overlook the role of resistance. The truth is, if resistance exists, whether in the form of doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs, it will hinder your ability to manifest your desires. Resistance comes from unresolved thoughts or beliefs, often formed early in life. For instance, if you dream of financial prosperity, but harbor subconscious beliefs that money is hard to earn, or that wealth is reserved for others, this resistance will block you from achieving your goal. Recognizing and releasing these blocks is essential for success. Imagine a sculptor working on a masterpiece. They don't create perfection by adding more clay, but removing what doesn't belong. Similarly, your role isn't to figure out how to add success to your life, it's to eliminate the resistance that blocks it. Pay attention to your negative reactions to life's circumstances. These moments highlight where resistance resides. The beauty of this process is that your desires are already set in motion. The universe, or the system you're operating within, has received your intentions. There's no need to keep asking for what you want. Instead, focus on clearing resistance and remaining open to the opportunities, ideas, and inspirations that naturally flow to you. When you align with this principle, you'll find that achieving your goals becomes predictable and consistent, regardless of your past struggles or circumstances. By practicing non-resistance, you can bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, whether in your relationships, health, career, or personal growth.
Have you ever wondered about the true nature of your existence? Who are you really? Let me tell you something that you may have never fully considered. You are God, manifesting itself into a human body. You are not just a human being living a mundane life. No, you are far more than that. You are a divine being, an expression of the infinite universal consciousness experiencing itself through a human form. Think about it. There's a part of you that already knows this, that deep, quiet voice inside. The one that whispers, there's more to life than what you've been told. It's been with you all along, reminding you that you're not just flesh and bones. Your body is simply a temporary vehicle. The real you is eternal. The real you is a God particle, experiencing this reality through the lens of human existence. But here's the thing, if you miss this truth, you miss the entire point of your existence. Let's break this down. How do you refer to yourself? You don't say, I am body, do you? You say my body. You don't say, I am hand. You say my hand. The words you use show that you already understand this on some level. Your body is something you possess, but it's not who you are. You are the awareness behind it, the soul within it. And this awareness, this soul, is divine. It is God manifesting itself in physical form, experiencing life through you. This is not some metaphor. It's the literal truth. You are a fragment of the infinite, a piece of the universal consciousness. The same creative force that powers the universe flows through you. You are not separate from it. You are it in a unique, individualized expression. So if you are God manifesting itself into a human body, what does that mean for your life? For your thoughts, your beliefs, your reality? It means that you are a creator, just like the divine force that created the stars, the planets, and life itself. The power that made the universe is within you, waiting to be realized. Your thoughts, your beliefs. They are not small or insignificant. They are the tools through which you shape the reality around you. You've heard the saying, what you think, you become. But let's go deeper. This isn't just a nice idea. It's the way the universe works. As God manifesting itself in human form, you have the power to create. Your thoughts are energy, and that energy shapes your experience. Every thought you have sends out a vibration, a signal. The more you focus on a particular thought, the stronger that signal becomes. So what are you thinking about? What are you focusing on? If you think thoughts of limitation, fear, or doubt, those thoughts will manifest in your life. Why? Because as God in human form, you are always creating, whether you're aware of it or not. If your mind is filled with negativity, that's the energy you're sending out into the universe. And because you are a creator, the universe reflects that energy back to you. But when your thoughts are filled with abundance, creativity, and love, you begin to attract those higher vibrations into your life. This is the essence of manifestation. It's not some magical process happening outside of you. It's you, God manifesting itself, consciously or unconsciously creating your reality through your thoughts and beliefs. Now let's talk about belief, because your beliefs are the foundation of everything you create. They shape your thoughts, your actions, your entire experience. If you believe you're small, limited, or powerless, your life will reflect that belief. But when you begin to believe in yourself as the divine being you truly are, everything changes. You begin to align with the truth of who you are, God manifesting in human form. But here's the incredible part. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. It believes whatever you feed it. This is why your thoughts are so powerful. Your subconscious mind is like fertile soil, ready to grow whatever you plant in it. So what are you planting? Are you planting seeds of limitation? Or are you planting seeds of greatness, of divine creation? Remember, every thought is a creative act. You are always shaping your reality, whether you realize it or not. The key is to become conscious of this process, to start intentionally creating the life you want, rather than being a passive observer in your own life. How do you harness this divine power? How do you start living as the God that you are? It starts with awareness. Become aware of the thoughts you're thinking, the beliefs you're holding. Are they aligned with the truth of your divine nature? Or are they keeping you small? Are you focusing on what you lack, or on the infinite potential that already exists within you? Once you become aware, the next step is to consciously choose your thoughts. Start thinking in alignment with your highest self, the part of you that knows you are divine, the part of you that knows you are here to create, to evolve, and to express the infinite potential of the universe. Visualize yourself living the life you desire, not as a distant goal, but as a present reality. See yourself experiencing the abundance, the joy, the love that is your birthright as a divine being. Feel the emotions of already having it, because emotions are the fuel that amplifies the energy of your thoughts. And most importantly, practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states you can embody. When you are grateful, you are acknowledging the divine abundance already within you. You're telling the universe, I have everything I need, and the universe, being a mirror, responds by giving you even more to be grateful for. So let's come back to the truth. You are not just a human being trying to survive. You are not small, powerless, or limited. You are God manifesting itself into human form. The same divine force that created the universe flows through you. And you are here to create. You are here to evolve. You are here to express your infinite potential. And here's the final realization. You are not alone in this. You see, we all are. Every person you encounter, every living being, every atom in existence, all are expressions of that same divine energy. We are all fragments of the same infinite consciousness, experiencing life in different forms. You are not separate from me, and I am not separate from you. We are all part of the same whole. When you look at the world around you, remember this. Everything that exists is a manifestation of God. The air, the earth, the people you meet, the stars in the sky, all of it is God expressing itself in countless ways. And because of this, we are one. There is no separation. There never was. There never will be. The divine exists in everything and everyone, and that includes you. So what will you create knowing this? What reality will we, as divine beings, shape together? The power is already within you, within all of us. All we have to do is believe.
If you expect to achieve your goals, if you expect to reach your potential, if you expect to have your dreams come true, what I'm about to explain to you is mission critical. You must become a master at visualization. For those of you that are like, what the heck is she talking about? I did not sign up for some sort of meditation, woo-woo spiritual thing here. Don't worry, this is Mel Robbins. There's always science and research involved in everything that I talk about. So visualization is an extraordinarily powerful skill. You may have heard of the law of attraction. You may have heard of the word visualization. You may have heard of the word manifesting. I call it seeing signs. Your brain has a system in it. Here's the technical term. It's called the reticular activating system. It is a network of neurons all up in here. And what is the job of the reticular activating system? It is a filter system. It's basically a system that allows certain information in your brain and it blocks out other information. And guess who programmed that filter? You did, and so did the people from your past. The reason why is if your brain let in everything, have you ever looked at a Facebook page? Have you noticed how many words are on a standard Facebook page? and the ad over here, and the ad over here, and the ad right here, and the stuff up here, and all this over here. If your brain took in everything at equal value, your head would literally explode off your shoulders. Your brain would melt down. And so the reticular activating system protects your brain by filtering information and only letting in stuff that it agrees with. So that's the scientific reason and mandate for why you got to get busy reprogramming that thing. Now we're going to talk about how you use visualization in order to start to reprogram the reticular activating system in your brain so that your brain starts to spot opportunity. Your brain starts to spot evidence that things are working out. Your brain starts to spot coincidences so you can build momentum. And it begins with visualization. So as you take your goals, right? So you've written down all these goals, right? For this year. I want you to go to each one and I want you to do a visualization exercise. And here's how you're going to do it based on science, because there's a particular way you have to do this based on science. Okay? It's a 2-step method. If your goal is to improve your self-worth, I want you to visualize what your life looks like and how you're going to feel about yourself when your self-worth has improved. There's 2 things that you have to do when it comes to visualization. You have to close your eyes. Truly, I know it sounds stupid, but I want you to close your eyes and I want you to, in your mind, have a specific picture of what it looks like in your life when your self-worth has improved. You're going to see yourself speaking up at work. You're going to see yourself talking more about your business. You're going to see yourself leaving bad relationships. You're going to see yourself defining boundaries. You're going to see yourself going to the gym. You're going to see yourself taking care of yourself. And when you start to visualize the image of that, I want you to consciously, this is step 2, consciously think of the positive emotions that you're going to feel. I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel proud. I'm going to stand taller. I'm going to be so grateful that I made this change. Marrying the specific picture. Oh, there I am. There I am. I'm at work and I'm raising my hand. Amazing. I'm sharing my idea. There I am. I'm getting a promotion. There I am asking for a raise. There I am. I've just signed up another customer to my business. There I am. I've gone back to school. I feel so good about myself. When you do that, here's what's actually happening in your brain. This is the science part. You are training your brain to have a totally different filter. You see, your brain, my brain, it doesn't know the difference between something that actually happened to you, like the F you got in your test in 10th grade, and the things you imagine that are happening to you. Let me say that again. Your brain doesn't know the difference between the bad things that actually happened to you, the real memories that you have, and an imagined memory that you're creating. Your brain will experience you visualizing going to the gym, you visualizing how happy you feel when you do, you visualizing asking for that raise and getting it, and how proud you're going to feel. Your brain, when you visualize in the way that I'm teaching you to, it encodes it as a real memory. That's important because when you encode it as a real memory, it changes the filter system, that reticular activating system. Here's what we know based on research. The more you visualize things, number 1, the greater your confidence is going to be, the greater security you're going to have about it. Here's the really cool thing. The more you do this with your goals, you wake up every day and you just visualize for it takes 30 freaking seconds for crying out loud. You visualize having a great day at school. You visualize curing your panic and how proud you're going to be. What studies suggest and have proven is that simply visualizing yourself doing things actually develops the skill and helps you improve the skills just as if you were actually doing it. There's proof based on research that visualization helps you build skills. Finally, the other thing that's really important about this is that the more that you do this, what we know based on research is that the reason why you start to believe what you think is because you are reprogramming your brain. You are changing the network of neurons that act as a filter. The more that you actually believe in yourself and you start thinking and visualizing yourself speaking up, the more confident you're going to become, the more skills that you're building, and you're actually going to do it. And then instead of looking for all the reasons when you're sitting in a meeting to not speak up, you're going to just speak up because you're going to have changed the filter. You're going to look for opportunities. This is how it works. This is why this is so incredibly important. And so day one, I want you to go through all the goals that you set, and I want you every single day throughout the next 30 days, you are going to spend 30 seconds. Your dreams deserve 30 seconds, don't you think? You're going to close your eyes and you're going to visualize what does it look like in your life when you have achieved your monetary goals this year. How does it feel to go to the bank and see that balance? How does it feel to be able to write that check and take your kids to Disney World on money that you made? How does it feel to be able to rent your own place or put down a down payment for the house you've always dreamt of? How does it feel to be able to have saved enough money so you can quit the job that you hate and launch the business because you have achieved your goals? It feels darn good. That's how it feels. And I want you to just savor that, because what you're doing when you visualize is you're reprogramming your reticular activating system, that system of neurons, that network that acts like a filter in your brain, so that it's spotting opportunity, so that it is helping you see evidence that you are confident, that you are capable, that you can do this instead of all the garbage you think right now.